Hey, Mary, what up? Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. How's it going? So, this is just a quickie because it's a freebie. Um, so we'll see. Actually, well, I always call it a hug from heaven. He's calling it. He actually said, "This your hug from heaven." He's smiling. He's bouncy. He's happy. He and he goes, "I just fucked up. I messed up." He says he went too far and couldn't get back. I did it. Accident. It was my time. Get right into it. Um, he's sorry, when they get close, my head itches. He says, "How could you not know? You've seen me, you've heard me, you felt me, and you smelt me. You've had all those. Mm, hang on, let's see. Out of, and it's usually in your peripheral vision. He says that out of the corner of your eye, you thought you saw him sitting in a chair. I'm not sure where this chair was, but you thought you saw him sitting in a chair. Of course, when you turn your head, you don't see it. It even works that way for me. Even though I do see them, still when I see them walk by, it's still in your peripheral vision. You turn your head and he's gone. You've heard him say something like, "Hey, you, hey, you." He's trying to get your attention. He's not saying if that happened at the same time as you thought you saw him in a chair. I can't tell for sure if it was the same time or two separate times. He says you have felt him walk by you. Which way? Where? Behind you. You felt him walk behind you. And that's, oh, he's getting close. I mentioned. And I always relate that feeling to, when somebody's glaring at you from across the room and shooting daggers at you and you feel it, you turn around and you go, "What the heck is all that?" You can feel that energy being directed at you. You can also feel their energy go. It says you felt him walk behind you. That was real. He's saying smelled him, but he's not. Something burning. Something burning. Was he cremated? It's a. It's not like a cigarette burning. It's not like a left-handed cigarette burning. It's not a different burning. It doesn't smell like a house burning. It's a different. It's a different kind of burn. So, and you've smelled that. So when you smell it again, or you feel him again, or you think you see him, whichever thing it is, evidently you're pretty perceptive. Just acknowledge him, validate him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. And then you'll just start getting all these. You've already gotten a bunch of them. He said nobody was mad at him at that time. It was just, okay, it was just his time. And I've been taught that we come in, uh, that we come into this life planning on, we know we have an exit point. It might be when you're 1 day old, might be when you're 100 years old. You can waver that line a little bit depending on what's going on around you, but it'll still be in that time period that you planned before you came here. So he said it was his time. And okay, he's bossing me around. We leave in a way that affects people around us in a certain way. There's something to be learned by every single person leaving. Every single person is here for a reason, but there's also a reason for the way that they leave and what the people around them learn. And he's talking about unconditional love. All right, he's talking about that bell that I heard the other day when I was I on one of my live things or something, that bell that I heard out of nowhere. And he's showing me my chimes on the deck, but one set of chimes, girls sent me these, I can't talk today, sent me these wind chimes, and they're little bells. They're little bells, and it has to really be blowing its ass off because I've got them hung on my deck, but I've got them pushed back a little bit so they're not in the weather. They were, when the wind was really kicking ass the other day, they were blowing. He's showing me those, but he's also showing me some wind chimes. And then he's showing me what looks like a little school bell, but it's small. It's a little, well, that's what the handle and everything. But it just tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Doorbell. Has your doorbell gone off when there was nobody there? So he's laughing. He looks good. He feels good. He feels peaceful, at peace. So watch for your door. Listen for your doorbell to go off when there's nothing there. And even if you hear a doorbell, like on TV, in a movie, walking through Walmart, you might hear it up here. We have ears up here too. It's telepathic ears. You might hear it up there. That's him trying to get your attention. He's going, hey you, hey you. So you might even hear, hey you. But you might hear it up here. So I asked him about the funeral and where you put him. And he just kind of kicked back and put his feet up. He goes, great. Like Tony the Tiger. He went, great. He says, I sat back and watched the shit show. Was there fussing with the family or something? Because he's like all laid back. I'm not sure why he called it a shit show because he says he's perfectly happy with all of that. Unless it's been something going on behind the scenes. Because he's got a big smile on his face. He's kind of like this. You know, he's jumping up and down in one place. Jumping up and down in one place. So you may hear that, and it probably, and I always say probably, I never know for sure, you will hear that little bit of a thump. It probably won't be very loud. He's jumping up and down in one place. Almost like on a pogo stick, but he's on the floor. He's still jumping. Come on. Come on. Okay, so he's showing me as he was leaving. And before, let's say somebody's in a head-on collision. Usually your soul leaves your body right before the point of impact. So your soul isn't actually hurt. I mean, that's the body. That's the body. So usually your soul, and you'll hear a lot of people say that they were up above the scene of the accident. So this is like what he's shown me. So he didn't actually, his soul, his spirit did not suffer. And he actually had his hand up, and his mom grabbed his hand and lifted him up to go with her. And there was also an older man, an older male, that was standing back behind her. It would be a, okay, let me see who it is. Be a grandfather type figure. I say grandfather type because your next door neighbor can feel more like a grandfather than your real grandfather across the country. So there was two men. One was a grandfather type, one was a fatherly type. Or, I don't know, he showed two separate guys, but your grandfather can feel more like a father than your father. So I'm not sure if he's trying to associate those two together, like into the same person, that he had a grandfather that was, I can't do. Show me again. Okay, so you're confusing me. Let's be a little more clear. Okay, he's not being clear enough. I can't tell for sure whether this grandfather figure is your grandfather or his grandfather. And then I'm getting the father association with this. But I don't see that many people there, so he's not being clear enough. So whether his grandfather, your grandfather, felt more like a father, and that's what he's getting at. But anyway, his mom grabbed him. There's an angel back there. And he's showing as he came up out of the water to go with them, he's perfectly dry. And he's making a point of that for some reason. And he's pointing back down and he's going, would you look at that? And they turn him around and they say, walk this way, you're leaving with us. Walk with us. Just turn around, don't look, and walk with us. We've got you. And he did, like, okay. And then he tried to turn around and look again, and they said, nope, you don't need to, let's go. And there's a dog that was there too, medium sized, very short hair, kind of a tan or light brown color, long tail. Doesn't look like any certain breed of dog. Very healthy looking, but he's medium sized. I'm kind of just seeing the butt end of him because he was standing there like, you finally made it. So this dog was there to greet him too. So somebody had this dog, and I know that's not much of a description because I don't even know what kind of dog to call this. He says, so now that he's shown me that he went off with all of them, now he turns around and he tells me, here's your hug from heaven. So make sure you validate him. Make sure You say, I know that's you. I love you. You know, I know this is a sign from you. He's hopping around all over your house, all over. He's following you around. It's kind of like I did when I was little. He says, they're all here. They're all here. I'm not sure who they are. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I love you. Thank you for what you did for us. I love you to the moon and back, to the stars and back. Thank you for what you did for me. It was perfect. Don't ever doubt that. It was better than you give yourself credit for. Believe in yourself. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. What did you learn from me when I was there? Think back and dig in and find out what you learned from having me, from going through that experience while I was there. I usually don't hear him say that. Don't forget to love the ones that are with you now. You are blessed more than you know. Don't take it for granted. Now he's kind of revving his energy up, like you should feel him. He's really light. He's bright. He's peaceful. He's vibrating at a very high, very high. I want to call it speed. Would be the correct word. Very high vibration. Very high. Very clean. Very uplifted. Keep it out of the gutters. He's talking about your car. Maybe he's talking about your mind. I don't know. I'm always in the gutter. Hope he's not talking to me. Anyway, he's leaving. He said he just wants you to know that all that stuff is him. He said, so believe it. Believe in yourself. Believe that those things are not just coincidences. He's talking about Daniel in the lion's den. Oh, I don't remember that part. I don't remember the story from the Bible. Daniel in the lion's den. It's okay. So, I don't know. He didn't really give a lot of validation, but if you felt or smelled all that stuff around you, then you'll know that was him. He says, I'll be back. I'll be back. All right. He's blowing you kisses. He says, I love you. And he's dropping rose petals, so look for individual rose petals too. All right. A little longer than a quickie. Anyway, here's your freebie. Thanks for participating. See you later. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. Much love to you.